Hey guys, happy Thursday. We are going to finish our flip book today. So yesterday we talked about possessive pronouns and a little bit about possessive adjectives. Today we are going to finish with intensive and reflexive pronouns. So if you could get out your flip book, or if you need to pause to go get your flip book, please do so. You should be on your very last flap. Go ahead and fold it up and get that crease for me, and we're going to go ahead and get started. Okay, so we're going to start with the definition of reflexive pronouns. Reflexive and intensive pronouns are the exact same words. They are just a different type of pronoun depending on how they are used in the sentence. Okay, so remember that we're going to start above the fold here, and we're going to start with reflexive pronouns. So reflexive pronouns end with self or selves, like himself or themselves would be examples. And what they do is they refer back to the subject of the sentence. Okay, and then I give you a list of words that could be reflexive pronouns. And you'll notice that all of them end with the word self or selves. Okay? So I'm going to give you two examples here. Pause with the video whenever necessary. The first example, you can walk to school by yourself. So yourself is referring back to you, all right? So you are the subject of the sentence, and the pronoun yourself is referring back to you. So that would be considered a reflexive pronoun. She crossed the street all by herself. Again, herself is referring to the subject, which is she, and that is also going to be a reflexive pronoun. That is all we have for the above in the fold. You guys should have lots of space today because this is your biggest section inside your flip book. So don't hesitate to, you can write a little larger today than you normally would. Now, intensive pronouns, we're going to start below the fold here. There's a lot here to be said, okay? They also end with self or selves, okay? And their role is to emphasize or intensify, whichever word you prefer, the subject of the sentence, okay? They are usually found, but not always, right after the noun or pronoun they're emphasizing. So for example, I might say, you yourself can walk home from school, okay? Or she herself can walk home from school, or something along those lines. So it'll usually have the subject, and then the intensive pronoun would immediately follow it. That's not always going to be true, but often, okay? Often they will be side by side. The other trick to identifying whether or not the self or selves pronoun is intensive or reflexive is twofold, okay? The first thing is they do not add any new information to the sentence. So they're not adding anything. If they're not really necessary, okay, we use them to be sort of extra, okay, or to really drive home the point about somebody doing something on their own, maybe. All right. The second clue is that they can be removed from the sentence, and the sentence will maintain the same meaning. Okay, so you could take it out and the sentence will mean the exact same thing that it meant if it was in the sentence. All right, so that's really important, and we'll go over some examples of that. All right, so an example, I myself am tired of doing homework. So myself is the pronoun, and it's going to be intensive, okay? It's intensifying the subject of the sentence, which is I. It does not add any new information to the sentence, okay? It's not telling me why I'm tired of doing homework or how tired I am of doing homework, okay? It does not provide any new information for me, one. Two, I could take the sentence out, or that word out. I could say, I am tired of doing homework. And the sentence means the exact same thing as if I put this word in here. All right? So let's look at another example. The president himself appeared at the rally. So himself is my pronoun. Okay? It is intensifying the subject, which is president. It's following the subject immediately, okay, which doesn't always have to be true, but in this case it is. And the sentence would make sense without it. I could say the president appeared at the rally, right? I can add the word himself, okay? And that's really just to intensify or emphasize the fact that he actually came, okay? Not necessary, doesn't add any new information for me, but it does sort of emphasize that he showed up personally to this rally. All right, one more. We ourselves made the meal. Okay, so again, ourselves is my pronoun. It is immediately following the subject. I could take it out and it doesn't change the meaning of the sentence. I could simply say, we made the meal, all right? The reason that I want to have it there, or the reason that we might use it, is to emphasize the fact that we did it ourselves, okay? That we didn't need help, okay? Maybe this would be something you would say, young kids might say to sort of impress somebody because maybe you don't typically make a meal, all right? So its objective is to emphasize the subject, okay? All right, we're going to do some practice with this, all right? I'm going to go back up here again to the top just to review these two things with you, right? Again, reflexive pronouns and intensive pronouns all end with self or selves, okay? They're the exact same words. You have to decide, based on how it's used in the sentence, if it's reflexive or intensive, right? You'll also notice that if it's reflexive, like these examples, I cannot take it out without the sentence not making sense. So I cannot say, you can walk to school by. That doesn't work. I cannot say, she crossed the street all by. Also doesn't work. Okay? So reflexive pronouns are necessary for the sentence to make sense. They also refer back to the subject of the sentence. Intensive pronouns typically, but not always, will follow the subject. I, myself, president himself, we ourselves. They do not give me any new information, and I can take them out of the sentence, and the sentence would still make sense. Okay? All right. When you are done with your notes, you can go ahead and put your flipbook away. I am going to allow you to use your flipbook for your tests that we're going to take shortly, not today. So you want to make sure that if you're missing an information that you go back to previous lessons and make sure that you get the information down. Okay? All right, guys, have a great day.